Welcome to My Jane, My Story, the only show that enables women to share their own secrets and insights to wellness, one story at a time.
Hi, this is Kara Raffelli. I'm one of the founders of My Jane, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing at Manifest 7. Our mission is helping you own your wellness through community, education, and exploration of cannabis solutions to address your biggest health concerns, like sleep, pain, and stress. You know, there's so much information out there, and we decided we needed to come together and share stories of real-life experiences from real people so that we can be better and do a better job of helping one another. We're sharing stories from experts and everyday My Jane community members. Our guests are making major differences in their lives and the lives of the world around them by including cannabis as part of their daily routine and lifestyle. We hope that these stories might inspire others and guide people of all ages to find their own path to personal wellness, not just for you, but also for those that you love. Today, we have a very special episode. We're calling it the Girlfriend's Guide to Your First Dispensary Experience. I'm joined by the amazing Christine Bordenave. She's the Director of Operations for WEDEN, and WEDEN is a cannabis retailer in California, and I'm really proud to say that they are one of the My Jane partners. In fact, WEDEN delivers in San Diego and Oakland, with more locations opening this year, including Orange County. WEDEN's first flagship store opened in Santa Ana, and coming up November 1st, delivery will be available. Plus, My Jane and WEDEN are both owned by Manifest 7. So, Christine, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So not only is cannabis still stigmatized, but there's so many misconceptions about, I'll call it the women of weed. Christine holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in legal studies with a minor in philosophy from UC Berkeley, and she's held nearly every position in cannabis retailing, from dispatch and delivery to managing operations for WEDEN's extensive network. She began her career serving California's medical cannabis patients and takes that knowledge to educate everyone about cannabis today. And I know we're going to want all of your knowledge, but we're going to have to distill it down into a few points just for today. So, Christine, you're talking to your girlfriends. Tell me some of the things that we want to know if walking into a dispensary for the very first time. Some women may think it's intimidating. Some women might be exhilarated by the experience, but not know what to expect. So what's the first thing that you want women to know about walking into WEDEN or any other dispensary?
You know, coming into a dispensary can be intimidating, but everyone is in control of their retail experience. So what I would really want women to know is that they're in charge. They can decide how they want to shop, if they'd like to get delivery, if they'd like to come into the store and speak to someone who can give them all the information that they're looking for, or if they just like to browse online and find more information. And we can help them with any of those avenues.
Okay. How much do women need to know about what they want when they walk into a dispensary or go online?
It's very helpful to have an idea of what you're looking for or what kind of relief you're trying to find. Doing a little preliminary research can always help guide the conversation, but you do also want to know what is it that brings you into the dispensary. Are you looking for something to help you sleep? Are you looking for some kind of pain relief? Are you looking for alternative medications for maybe some of your elderly relatives or your parents? Maybe you're just curious about, you know, the new recreational aspect of cannabis that's in our state. Anything can really bring you into the dispensary, and it's a safe space for everyone. Depending on your experience, you can come in and share that with us, and no one's going to judge you on that. In fact, it's going to help you find the right cannabis for you.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. Let's say I'm standing at the door at WEDEN. What is it that I need to know before walking in?
Well, every dispensary is 21 and up. So regardless of how you look or how old you are, they're always going to ask for your ID, just like a bar. So be prepared for that. And also don't be shocked if you see some security guards. This is just to keep the facility safe, and just like seeing security at Target or something. So don't be shocked if you see that.
Okay. And then once you're inside a dispensary, walk our listeners through this. Are there products out that I could touch? If I want to sample something, is that allowed? Really, what are the rules, and what's kind of the consumer experience the girlfriend might need to know?
Well, at WEDEN, it's a little bit different than other retailers. We do have a lot of helpful staff to guide you through the experience, and there's kind of a mix of products behind counters that people can help you to look at and smell, such as flowers, or there's also edibles and things that you can pick up and take to the register yourself. So we have a little bit of both, and depending on what kind of experience you'd like to have, you can just walk up to someone immediately and talk to them about your needs, and they can guide you through the entire experience. Or if you're a little bit more assertive and know what you want, then maybe you pick up a few items and head to the register on your own.
Okay. So you talked more about knowing your motivations. Do you find that women a lot of time want to be able to talk about health concerns for themselves? Or are they talking about the experiences of, say, a mother or an aunt who has spoken to them about cannabis and they're just concerned?
Yeah, a lot of women come in looking for wellness alternatives. CBD is definitely something that a lot of people are learning about right now, and can be very helpful in a lot of ailments, and especially sleep aid as well. So a lot of people are looking for those different kinds of relief, or like you said, for their elderly parents or maybe an elderly relative. We all know how harmful pharmaceuticals can be, and so finding some safe alternatives is something that a lot of people are looking for right now.
You know, a lot of the women I talk with in my age group, I'm almost 46, are at that point thinking about what can I do as I start to age. And a lot of women are looking for ways that are beyond a pharmaceutical or pharmacological approach for that. What do you say about the intersection of cannabis and wellness for them?
I think that there's so much more research and learning that we can do, and every body is different, so everyone's cannabis experience is different, but we're all learning together. And the great thing about WEDEN is that everybody can share their experiences and come to a safe space and get some advice and see what other alternatives are out there. So really, we're just in this together trying to find some answers.
Okay, so since we're dishing for girlfriends, I think most women are always concerned about their weight or making sure that they're not consuming a lot of calories. I know for me, I love going home at night and opening a bottle of wine. I would like to say I only have one glass, but sometimes it's two, and that adds up to a lot of calories. So I had a girlfriend tell me that she's been able to substitute her nightly glass of wine with an edible. Do you find that women are doing that more and more?
Yes, I'm definitely hearing a big shift of people switching from alcohol into edibles or just cannabis in general. And a lot of people are finding the same, joy or relaxation that they were getting from alcohol. And personally, I think it's a much safer substance, so I'm in favor of it.
Very good, very good. I don't know that I want to put down my glass of wine, but I definitely
Maybe
have
not
been.
yet.
Yeah, but maybe not yet. But I've definitely incorporated more and more cannabis into my wellness routine as well as recreation. So let's talk about that for a second, because when we started My Jane a little bit more than a year ago, we did a study of 42,000 women in Orange County, and we found at that point that a lot of women may be curious about cannabis, but they may not have had a lot of personal experience. Now, fast forward to the end of 2019, and a lot has changed since recreational or adult use cannabis became legal in California. Do you find that women are still a little bit shy in disclosing that they may already be avid cannabis users? Or do you find that when women are walking in, they're just proud of their passion for the plant and look at it as just another lifestyle choice?
I think that we're very slowly breaking down the stigma around cannabis. We're seeing a lot more professionals come in, people in scrubs or suits or something like that. And so I really think that we're breaking down that barrier. And women are definitely coming into the dispensary with more confidence, or ordering products with more confidence. I really find that people are curious and they're giving it a shot, and that's fantastic. And they're sharing that knowledge with each other, and that's great as well. So as much as we can, help each other to find the right cannabis for you. And I really think that more women are trying it out and just seeing what that experience is like, or giving it a second shot if maybe they had a bad experience a long time ago. One of the great things about dispensaries is that you can find products that are tested, that have more information, that give you more dosing guides, so you can be a little bit more careful about your cannabis use.
So along with that knowledge that's provided about dosing, how are so a new word for maybe some of our listeners is the concept of a budtender. So tell everyone what a budtender is. I know at WEDEN it's called a guest experience specialist. Just tell us about that role and the kind of training that goes in to be able to become a budtender or guest experience specialist.
Sure. A budtender is the person behind the counter who's helping to guide your cannabis experience. They're really there to, answer your questions and to guide you through every aspect and show you all the different products and show you all the different brands as well. At WEDEN, we go through a lot of training. We want to make sure that everyone is prepared when they go behind the counter. So we do give them a lot of procedure training, teach them about compliance and things that they need to know about the regulations of working in a cannabis store. And we also teach them how to talk with our customers, how to help guide them to the right products, and to give them a lot more information about those products so that they can give good advice to our customers.
Okay, very good. So really they're kind of allies in a woman's wellness journey or just their cannabis exploration journey.
Absolutely. They're there to help answer questions and help guide you, and definitely to trade a few funny stories as well.
Very good. Very good. Now, you mentioned CBD earlier. Is it okay if we spend a couple minutes talking about that? Because CBD is in the news. It seems like you can't walk into any retailer and not find a product that isn't infused with CBD. Mm-hmm. And, some CBD products are only in dispensaries. Some are at a gas station convenience store. Mm-hmm. So really break down for us, what is CBD and how could a woman use it?
So CBD is a component of cannabis, just like THC. THC is the psychoactive effect, and CBD is a bit more of the medical property. So it can be an antispasmodic and anti-seizure. We see a lot of conversations about CBD and seizure medications, and there's a lot of research that's going into all the uses for CBD. Now, there is hemp CBD, which is what you see in a lot of our retailers right now. You might see that in like CVS or Walgreens or at gas stations or things like that. And that's hemp CBD, which means it's not the same as cannabis. It's less than 3% of THC in the whole plant. So it's not quite the same as cannabis CBD, which is what your dispensaries will be selling. So we at WEDEN sell CBD that also has THC in it, or might be from, it's called whole plant, which is CBD from the cannabis plant. There's also hemp CBD, which we see in a lot of creams and also pet products because it's non-psychoactive, and so you don't have the same head change effect that you have with cannabis CBD.
Okay, so it's a good alternative or an option for a woman who maybe doesn't want to have that feeling of being high,
yes,
but wants to look at the benefits the plant provides, maybe.
Yes, it's a great way to kind of test it out, maybe have the experience and see how it works for you, and if it's something that gives you the relief that you'd like, and maybe it opens the door to experimenting a bit more with THC. And personally, I think that whole plant CBD is much stronger and much more effective than hemp CBD, so I would recommend that if you're really looking for quality relief.
And what kind of products does CBD come in?
So you can get CBD in just about anything now. We have edibles, vapes, we have flour as well, a lot of great, beautiful flowers with CBD in it. There's also some pre-rolls, and especially tinctures are what women tend to gravitate towards. And that's just a liquid that you put under your tongue and let that sit and absorb in your saliva, and then you get the great effects.
Okay, so it really could be something that is even discreet or on the go for women.
Absolutely, yes.
And something even that they could recommend to other family members to use, and it would be really easy to follow.
Yes, it's much easier to dose out because you have a dropper that usually marks how much you're actually getting in the oil and putting into your mouth, so you can really dose it out and understand how much you're getting.
Great. So, one of my first points was some of the misconceptions and stigma that's still prevalent around cannabis. And we've talked Christine, about the women of weed. And, we're still dealing with some people who think that if you use cannabis, you have to be a stoner, or you might be lazy, or you don't have motivation. What would you say to that?
I would say, look at me. I'm a pretty ambitious person personally. And, I've used cannabis for a long time. I've been in the cannabis industry for over 6 years now. And I'm proud to say it's one of my passions. And I've met a number of wonderful women who are very like-minded, who enjoy cannabis in different ways, whether it's recreationally or medically in some way. And they're wonderful professionals as well. So it can be a great way to have some of your medical needs met. It's a great way to have fun with your friends as well, or while you're going out. So there's a lot of uses for cannabis, and I think that women are enjoying it, and the women that at least I have had the privilege of working with have been passionate about the plant, but also, really incredible people. So I would say that's not quite true.
It's good to hear. Now, we like to talk about our very personal stories. It's my Jane, my story. Are you willing to tell us why you decided to go into the cannabis industry? You had a degree in legal studies and philosophy, minor, so you certainly are an ambitious student at UC Berkeley. What made you decide that I'm going to focus my considerable education and talent and ambition into cannabis?
I graduated right around the recession, and so I went into being in, having a legal background. I went into bankruptcy, and so I was working with a lot of people who are losing their homes or really struggling financially, and it was not very motivating, and really depressing most of the time. And I was lucky enough to get a part-time job at a dispensary. I started out as a dispatcher in a delivery service. And I started working at the different jobs in the dispensary, being a driver, working as a Budtender, working in reception, and I just fell in love with it. Working with people is such an incredible experience, hearing about their stories, hearing the way that cannabis has helped them, and helping them find relief for whatever it is that they're looking for. It just took me on a great journey of really changing what was motivating me in my life. And I'm happy to say that, I made the jump into being a full-time cannabis professional, and I've never looked back, and I'm very, very happy here.
And we are so happy that you're here as well. Now, you started in delivery, and WEDEN certainly has delivery hubs in, the parts of the state we talked about, and we're launching here November 1st. Is the delivery experience different than walking into a dispensary? What could a woman expect when ordering products through delivery?
We try to make delivery very easy for the customer. It really is just like ordering a pizza. You can order online, you can give us a call, you can text us. We're at 1-800-CANNABIS, so just reach out and we're happy to help you. And we'll set up a delivery to your home. We can meet you outside if you would prefer, or go right up to your door. And again, it's just like a pizza. We just bring it right to your door, make sure that you're the right person. We'll check your ID, of course. And then it's just a simple exchange of cash, and we're all done.
So our women should expect to have cash ready for them in most instances?
Yes, generally we appreciate cash. And we're all struggling with the banking of getting credit cards right now, so most people are cash only. But, it's we try to be very professional. We have our drivers in uniform. They're going to let you know when they're on their way, reaching out to you by making a phone call to let you know that they're on their way. And also you'll receive a text message that your driver has arrived. So we'll get a lot of warning, and it's a pretty smooth experience, and our drivers go through just as much training as our Budtenders to make sure that they're providing good customer service and making people feel comfortable.
So it really sounds like it's a delivery or ordering or retail experience, much like the rest of the world and other industries operate.
Yes, we're definitely trying to create a retail experience that people are used to. We just want to take away some of the stigma of this industry and make it normal for everyone.
So normalizing cannabis. What do you think that we can do here in Orange County to help normalize cannabis? And even if one doesn't want to partake or, consume cannabis, just provide education. What can the MyJane community do to advance this?
I think just having these conversations is the first step. People are curious, so just talking to each other can really open up the lines of communication and help people to understand each other. So I think that's the best way to really break down those barriers, is to just start talking.
Okay, great. Now, I've heard you talk about guest appreciation days or patient appreciation days that dispensaries host. What are those?
Dispensaries tend to have some of their vendors come into the store. We do this almost every day, where we have one of our vendors come in and provide education about their product to our customers, but also provide deals and discounts so they can try the product at a lower cost.
Okay, great. So is that also a good opportunity for women to go in for education?
Yes, absolutely. It's a great opportunity to speak with someone from the brand themselves about maybe how it's made or where it comes from, or just to get a little bit more background on the company or on the product that maybe the Budtender wasn't able to give you. So it's a great education tool.
Okay. Now, going back to some of the ideas of, I get my product, I'm ready to check out. A lot of dispensaries are cash only, and that's a reflection of the banking system. Now, I know part of the legal cannabis industry here are paying taxes as well. So tell our girlfriends what they need to know about cannabis and taxes.
Well, you should definitely expect to pay taxes at a legal cannabis dispensary or from a legal delivery service, and they should disclose those taxes to you as well. Anyone who doesn't charge you taxes is probably not legal, so just be careful of that. But you should expect to pay sales tax and likely a cannabis use tax, depending on what city you're in.
Okay. You just made a great distinction between a legal cannabis entity and a non-legal or non-compliant one. What does that even mean?
Well, since the passing of Prop 64, all legal cannabis businesses have had to go through a process to receive a license from the state, and also local permits. So meaning that they're in the right zone in their city, and then the state has granted them a license to sell cannabis as well. So you do have to go through that rigorous process. It is pretty strict right now, but anyone who hasn't gone through that is likely an illegal operation. They're probably not collecting taxes, or if they are, they probably aren't remitting them to the state. And they're not required to have the same compliance considerations that we have. So all of our products are lab tested. They do have to come in child-proof packaging, and they have to meet certain requirements that the state has laid down to make them safe for the public. And unfortunately, these unlicensed shops do not have those requirements. And but with a licensed facility like WEDEN, we do the lab testing. We do make sure that everything is safe, legal, and compliant, and safe for our consumers.
So safety is really the key behind the push to drive consumers to more legal channels.
I think so, yes.
And how would a woman know whether or not a shop is legal or not?
Well, you will see a couple telltale signs, and definitely the license would need to be posted. That should be right up front and, by the counter. And again, they should always check your ID. There's likely a security guard, but you can always ask them as well to see their license, and you can check it out online. There is a website put out by the Bureau of Cannabis Control. I want to say it's capotcheck.com, but I'm not entirely sure. But there you can check the license of any retailer and make sure that they are a legitimate licensed cannabis facility.
That's a really good resource. We'll add that link to the show notes.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So here in Orange County specifically, does every city allow cannabis retailing?
I think there's every city's a little bit different. Every city has to come up with their rules and regulations about where they will or won't allow cannabis retailers, and there's a lot of back and forth right now. I know there's a few questions about where we can deliver, and we're trying to work through that.
Okay, great. But in Orange County, the legal storefronts are only in Santa Ana. Is that correct?
I believe most of them are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. We only have a few more minutes. What would you want to make sure? Just imagine you're talking to your best friend, or even, the grandmas in our audience. What do you want them to know about cannabis retailing? What's the last word you want to leave with them?
I really just want everyone to feel comfortable and to just give it a shot. Every body is different. Every cannabis experience is different. And we can help you find the right thing for you if you're willing to try. And we're here to help you. So come on in and don't be afraid.
And I understand you even prepared a nice little offer for the My Jane community to facilitate their first guide to a dispensary experience.
I did. I wanted to make sure that everyone in My Jane could come in and try out our products. So at our store in Santa Ana, just mention our promo code OC Talk Radio, and you'll get 20% off your order.
20% off?
20% off, yes. And you can also order online at WEDEN.com or call 1-800-CANNABIS for delivery in Oakland or San Diego. And we'll also be delivering in Orange County starting November 1st.
Okay. So I'm thinking around the holidays, having guests come in, and that would be a great way to help them see what cannabis is like and maybe even be able to order some gifts for them when they're here. I'm thinking my out-of-town guests.
Yeah, well, we can help you find the perfect gifts. Absolutely.
Very good. Now, I understand My Jane is going to have a very special offering only at WEDEN.
Yes, that's right.
And that is our first holiday box, and that is to give you the gift of sleep. So that's going to be in WEDEN in the next few weeks, and I'm really, really excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, Christine, I want to thank you for being here today. You've helped to correct some misconceptions and provide a lot of information, so I know it's going to be beneficial, and I look forward to shopping with you soon. And I really want to make sure that you know you're always part of the My Jane community, and thank you for helping us contribute to our growth and our success, and most importantly, reaching out and educating women. For all of our listeners, I want to make sure that you are part of our community and helping others to get to My Jane. So please, if you're listening to this podcast via Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe so more people can find My Jane, My Story, and go on the path to women helping women feel better.
Thanks for tuning in to My Jane, My Story. If you want to learn more, you can join the My Jane community at myjane.com. Get instant access to our Facebook group, Facebook community, educational resources, and updates on My Jane products and special events. And for personal attention right now, you can also pick up the phone and call 833-MY-JANE2. That's MYJANE2. And speak to your own wellness concierge, because it's time to own your wellness. Be well.